I watched The Boy 3 months ago, and I've been trying to watch this one for quite some time. And I finally found the DVD, and I got it. My thoughts on the first one were it was a decent watch. There wasn't too much it had going for it. It was a possessed doll type movie until the reveal of the guy living in the walls, which kind of for me elevated it and actually made it a much more interesting movie. If it didn't have that twist, it would just have been a generic schlock movie, and I had no interest in seeing this one. But that's actually the problem with this one, is the second one kind of does away with the man in the walls and has this family who suffer a home invasion for something. I don't quite know what they do. They seem like bandits, but it's not confirmed they actually steal anything. They just injure two people and then just leave. So it's a little bit weird. The family are kind of dealing with... the mum is kind of seeing things, and the boy has just turned mute because of how they've been psychologically damaged, which is an interesting take. So they decide to relocate, and I was expecting them to relocate into the house with the guy in the walls, and for us to be the audience, have that knowledge going in and be like, okay, there's a guy in the walls, they don't know, and seeing that all the stuff he does whilst they're not aware. I thought that was going to be a really, really cool take. But the movie never has that. There's no guy in the wall. Instead, it retcons it completely, so the Brahms doll is essentially Annabelle. It can move, it does things on its own. Yeah, it's baffling. It's truly, truly baffling. At one point, it gets damaged, and like the actual shell of Brahms' head's just completely gone, and it's like this, it looks like this burnt bumhole, and it's got like this white stuff spewing. It's really disgusting to look at, because as I said, it looks like a bumhole, and it's supposed to be this really, really scary stuff, and it's kind of like lifting the sky off the ground, and it's just awful. Like, there's no tension in this movie. None of the characters are interesting whatsoever. I like Katie Holmes. I think she's a very good actress, but this movie doesn't give her anything to work with, apart from being paranoid and seeing things. It's never really played on. Like, it's very apparent that the doll is actually moving by itself, and they even say that there was a bloke living in the walls previously. But then with the reveal, there's like all these people that came before where they had the doll and they were doing all these killings and stuff like that. So it was the doll all along. It just didn't make sense narratively. If this was its own film, it would be fine. It would be a fine watch. But because it's a sequel to an already established mythos, and it chooses to retcon all of those mythos, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. So yeah, I didn't really enjoy this movie at all. I think it was a bad movie. It was complete letdown, and it would have been much better if they did The Guy in the Walls, because we could have seen a different side of that story. Yes, it is going to be the same story, but as an audience, we would have actually known about the guy, enhancing the creep factor for worrying about the family that's about to move in. But we didn't get that. We got a generic movie that sucked, with a nonsense ending. It even left with a cliffhanger, and I was like, what was the point? There's no point. It's a bad movie, and I'm not surprised it killed the franchise.